Welcome back to Prime Field, your home for all things WNBA. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about topics in basketball right now, Caitlin Clark's massive impact on the league and the financial rewards, or lack thereof, that have followed. Caitlin Clark's rookie season with the Indiana Fever wasn't just impressive, it was transformative. We saw record-breaking attendance, sold-out arenas, skyrocketing viewership, and merchandise flying off the shelves. Clark single-handedly elevated the WNBA's profile to unprecedented heights. But here's where things get complicated. Despite being arguably the biggest catalyst for growth the WNBA has ever seen, Clark's personal compensation from the league doesn't quite reflect her value. Let's break down the numbers. Clark earned around $76,000 in her rookie season. For her sophomore year, a modest bump to $78,000. These figures might shock casual fans who assume the face of women's basketball would be making millions from her league salary. An economist from Indiana University Columbus estimated that Clark generated approximately $36 million for the city of Indianapolis alone and was responsible for over 25% of the WNBA's economic activity in 2024. That includes everything from ticket sales to merchandise and TV revenue. So the question becomes, is there a disconnect between Clark's value to the league and what she's actually being paid? Her agent Aaron Kane of Excel Sports Management certainly thinks so. Will Caitlin Clark ever be paid by the WNBA what she's really worth to that league? I don't think that's possible. As we head into our next segment, we'll explore how the WNBA's financial structure works, why these limitations exist, and what changes might be on the horizon. Stay with us. Let's talk about the business side of the WNBA and why even the league's brightest star is working under such salary constraints. The WNBA's economic landscape changed dramatically during Clark's rookie season. In summer 2024, the league signed a massive 11-year media rights deal worth approximately $2.2 billion, a deal that many believe was accelerated and enhanced by the Caitlin Clark effect. But here's the thing. The WNBA operates under a collective bargaining agreement that runs through 2026. This CBA, negotiated before anyone knew the impact Clark would have, sets strict rookie-scale contracts for the first 4 years of a player's career. This means that regardless of how many fans Clark brings in or how many jerseys she sells, her salary is essentially locked in for her first 4 seasons. The Fever can't just decide to pay her more. It's not allowed under the current rules. And Clark isn't alone. Kane also represents other WNBA stars like Nafisa Collier and Erica Ogumba, who she believes are similarly undercompensated in relative to their value to the league. She should be recognized for what she has done and what she's brought to the league from an economic standpoint. It's as simple as that. We've seen the story before, not just in women's sports, but across all athletics. The NCAA famously made billions off student athletes who couldn't earn a dime until recent NIL changes. And even the NBA has its own history with this issue. Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player ever, averaged just over $3 million annually from 1988 to 1994, years when he was revolutionizing the sport and making the NBA a global phenomenon. Jordan eventually saw his salary skyrocket to over $30 million in his final 2 Bulls seasons. Could a similar correction be in Clark's future? Let's explore that after the break. So far, we've established that Caitlin Clark's value to the WNBA far exceeds her salary. But there's another crucial piece to this puzzle: endorsements. While Clark's WNBA salary sits at around $78,000, Sportica reported in December 2024 that she earned approximately $11 million in endorsements last year. That means her league salary represented just 1% of her total income. With sponsorships from major brands, Clark has managed to capitalize on her stardom outside the league's salary structure. But this raises another important question. Should players have to rely on external income, or should the league itself provide the fair compensation? The current CBA expires in 2026, and negotiations for the next agreement will be fascinating. Kane told ESPN she's very, very hopeful for the CBA negotiation, that it will be progressive and move the line forward a lot. But there's no guarantee that even a new CBA will adequately address the value discrepancy. Colin Salau of Front Office Sports noted that there's no assurance that players under contract beyond 2026 will receive salary increases equivalent to whatever cap spike comes next offseason. And while Clark's endorsement portfolio might insulate her personally from these financial limitations, Many other WNBA stars rely primarily on their league salary. The resolution of this issue could have far-reaching implications for women's basketball. So what happens next? As the WNBA continues to grow, partly thanks to Clark's star power, we may be headed for a standoff between the Players Association and the league. Will the WNBA find a way to fairly compensate the athletes driving its success? Or will external endorsements remain the primary income source for its biggest stars? One thing's for certain, the Caitlin Clark effect extends beyond just viewership and attendance. It's forcing a long overdue conversation about player compensation in women's sports. And regardless of how this particular situation resolves, that conversation alone might be Clark's most important contribution to the game. That's all for today on Prime Field. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all things WNBA. Let us know in the comments what you think about this situation. Should the WNBA find a way to pay Clark more? We'll see you in the next video.